Ja, guten Tag. Wir spielen heute mal wieder ein bisschen Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments. Ja, beim letzten Mal, da haben wir uns weiterhin mit dem Blumendiebstahl befasst, beziehungsweise mit dem Mord. Und schauen mal, wie es da so weitergeht, ne? So sind wir ja auch. So, den Typen haben wir angesprochen. Der sollte jetzt eigentlich nichts mehr haben. Oder? Ja, scheinbar doch.
Mr.
Ja, machen wir hier mal ein bisschen vorspulen. Da war im letzten Teil ja alles.
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunn's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
Ja, das ist auch wichtig.
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before. And now all of a sudden he's trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Ja, okay.
What?
You?
Ja.
Oh yeah.
Are you?
Well, but it was
Ja.
That?
yeah, that is.
Ja.
You?
Ja, genau. Und,
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
ja. Weil, da haben wir hier wöchentliche Inspektion. Jeden Dienstagmorgen führte Montagu Dion eine flüchtige Inspektion des Botanischen Gartens durch. Sein Kollege, vor allem Hamish, waren von diesen Angewohnheiten nicht gerade begeistert. Na, schau mal. Was ist er denn? Ach, da. Hallo. Du hast doch bestimmt einen Schlüssel, ne?
Who is Miss Margaret White?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Okay.
We noticed that a part of the colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah, at the moment I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Ja, dann.
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the deputy director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the deputy director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? That is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Okay.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honor of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Okay.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
Hast du einen
Do you
Türschlüssel?
hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Ja, okay. Ah ne, hier waren wir schon. Aber wir gehen ja trotzdem mal durch. Vielleicht sehen wir irgendjemand. Hier, wo der Mord passiert ist. Mhm. So, die eine müsste hier am Gewächshaus hier sein. Ja, ist ja schön, ne? Da ist jemand.
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
So,
Seed house.
da gehen wir jetzt rein.
Open.
Open, okay. Wer bist du denn?
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Ach,
I
der.
am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Ja.
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Ja, wahrscheinlich, ne? Sogar nicht mitbekommen, ne? So. Teures Parfüm. Oh. Pelagra, arme Familie. So, hier unverheiratet.
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh, yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Mhm. Was mit dem
Oh,
Vorfall?
it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
Ja dann.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Mhm.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Mhm. Das stimmt.
The Divine Syndicate. Does that name mean anything to you, by any chance?
Not at all. But it is a very pretty name.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Okay.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
Ja, das sollte man annehmen, ne? Margaret White. Miss Margaret White sieht hinreißend und wohlhabend aus. Dennoch kann man eine Reihe von braunen Flecken auf ihren Händen erkennen. Diese sind auf Pellagra zurückzuführen, einer Krankheit, die nach einer längeren Phase der Mangelernährung auftritt. Das zeigt, dass sie ihre Kindheit in sehr ärmlichen Verhältnissen verbracht hat. Die Anzeichen von Reichtum deuten jedoch auf einen radikalen Wechsel ihrer Lebensumstände hin. So, kommt auch in diesem Fall. Dann schauen wir weiter, ne? Wir hätten ja rein theoretisch auch noch hier was zu verbinden.
Locked.
Mhm. Von wegen locked. Haben wir auch noch.
The seeds of plant species are stored here.
Mhm. So interessant. Okay, ansonsten ist hier nichts, ne? Was ist hier denn die Büste da?
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
Mhm. Da fehlt was.
I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place.
Ja, machen wir mal.
Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common.
Perfekt. Dann gehen wir da auch schon ein bisschen weiter. Sind wir hier? So, da ist... Da war was. Diplome.
An award presented to Martin Hamish for Best Grower of the Year. A master's degree diploma. It belongs to Martin Hamish.
Okay. Diplome.
A thesis written by Martin Hamish. A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office.
Schau mal hier.
This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing, but it had nothing to do with Kew Gardens. This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. He won a horticultural competition.
Ja, scheinbar so, ne?
Locked.
Bei uns ist nicht mehr gelockt.
Locked.
So, dann gehen wir hier mal rein. Hier können wir hier direkt hier RB machen. Was ist das denn hier? Labortisch.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Gold dust? Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks. so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
But why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
Ja,
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around. The bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
Ja dann. Da haben wir ja bestimmt Tobi da noch. Tobi holen. Okay. Dann machen wir doch mal. Dann können wir währenddessen ja mal die neuen Hinweise da, die wir hier gefunden haben. Na, aber nix. So. Und da haben wir hier Tobi. Nehmen.
Come on, Toby. We have some work for you to do.
Mhm.
Let us go to Kew Gardens.
So. Und dann machen wir hier nach Kew Gardens.
Let us take Toby to the laboratory. He will pick up the scent of this mysterious substance.
Mhm. Können wir auch machen, ne?
Search, Toby. Search.
Okay. Guck mal, hier sind schon wieder so Wolken. So. Können wir den ja hier anfallen? Ich glaube nicht, ne? Da hier.
Congratulations, Toby. Now let us see what you have found. This is the bottle that was used in the laboratory. It was buried here.
Ja, dann.
There is still some liquid remaining in the bottle, with gold flakes. A tiny caterpillar. Not surprising to see one in a garden, but at the bottom of a bottle.
Mhm. So, dann haben wir jetzt bestimmt. Kann man das hier noch untersuchen, ne? Also Schlüssel für alle Türen im Kew Gardens, außer für die zum Umkleideraum. Ein Marmorschock vom Boden des Kolonialhauses. Der Form und Beschaffenheit nach zu urteilen ist vermutlich ein abgebrochenes Stück einer Büste oder Skulptur. So, dann haben wir hier eine Chemikalienflasche, die in Kew Gardens im Boden vergraben war. Können wir ja dann jemanden mal da erfragen. Fangen wir mal mit ihm an.
There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room, in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
Also okay. Bruchstück einer Büste.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup. This room is so small.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments of rock are not my responsibility.
Evidently.
Ja.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
So. Dann haben wir hier den hier, was?
Excuse me, but I have to tidy up this room.
Okay. Das ist ja ein bisschen sehr komisch. So. Ja. So, Mrs. White. Da kommen wir gar nicht befragen.
Poor Mr. Montague Dunn. It is so awful.
Okay. Hilft uns dann auch nicht weiter. Dann gehen wir zu Baker Street, um die Flüssigkeit mal zu analysieren, ne? Weiter geht's. Dann gehen wir jetzt einmal zum Analysentisch.
Let us determine just what we have found here. Let us pour liquid from the bottle into a test tube to perform an analysis.
So.
This is the bottle that we found hidden at Kew Gardens. Let us use a pipette to take a sample of the liquid and fill a test tube.
Mal, ne? Ja. Ja dann.
A colorless, water-based liquid. Quite a strong floral aroma.
Holmes? What are you doing?
Ja,
It has
genau.
a bitter taste.
Ja.
What if it's poisonous?
Did you ever see poison stored in enormous jars like that? Anyway, there is a doctor nearby.
So, what do you think it is?
It is some kind of organic compound. Let us vaporize the liquid and see what happens.
Ja, dann mach mal. Ging auch schnell, ey.
Small colorless crystals. Colorless, tiny crystals that are soluble in water, with a floral smell and a bitter taste. Watson, could you pass me that small bottle, please?
Of course. Here you are. Holmes, do you know what it is?
Wagner's reagent. There was a label on the bottle that you passed to me.
No, Holmes, I meant the bottle that we found.
Let me add the reagent and see if there is any sediment, and then I shall tell you.
Ja.
I need to take a pipette and make several drops of the reagent. red sediment, just as I suspected. This liquid is of organic origin. It contains some alkaloid. Most likely it is unstable, and that is why there is a quantity of gold dust to prevent contamination.
Ja.
This mixture is probably a fertilizer. Someone was carrying out unusual experiments in the garden's laboratory.
Okay, und das ist natürlich interessant. Ja, dann gehen wir wieder. Ach, Kev Gardens. Ich würde aber mal sagen, den Rest machen wir dann beim nächsten Mal. Bewertet mal ruhig den Teil und bis dann. Tschüss.